These are the tools that are going to be required for replacing the Freehub body. We'll need a needle nose set of pliers, a 17 mil box wrench, a 12 millimeter Allen key, a cassette tool and chain whip, some light chain oil, a rag, and obviously the new Freehub body. The first step is we'll have to remove the cassette here. Although this cassette is a little bit different than the one you have on your bike, it still will remove the same. The first step, we'll put the chain whip on the cassette to hold the cassette in place. We'll use the lock ring removal tool to loosen off the lock ring. Once loose, the cassette should just pull right off the Freehub body. Okay, once the cassette is removed, we'll have to remove the end cap on the disc brake side. A pair of needle nose pliers will make this quite easy. If you just pinch onto the end cap and pull, it will expose the Allen key slot in the axle. We'll take our 12 millimeter Allen key as well as our 17 millimeter box wrench and remove the drive side end cap. Now this is a reverse thread and it will give you the direction to loosen it on the end cap. Once the end cap is off, thread it off completely and we should be able to slide the Freehub body off. Next step here is we'll have to remove the bearing spacer for the Freehub body to the hub shell. Once this is removed, take the rag and clean the inside of the drive ring out. Make sure there isn't any debris or any grease left in there. Once it's clean, just inspect for any damage. You don't want there to be any metal shavings or chips out of the ring drive. Make sure the axle is in good shape still, and then we'll start the reassembly process. The next step is we're going to be reassembling it. So we'll take our new Freehub body, our spacer, and our chain oil. First thing we'll want to do is install the spacer. Now this spacer can only install one way, so you just want to slip it over the axle there. We'll take the Freehub body and the chain oil here. You just want to put a little bit of light chain oil over the pawls. You don't need a lot. You then take the Freehub body and slide it back over the axle. Step in the process is we'll be reinstalling the drive side lock nut here. So you'll just want to thread it on by hand. Just make sure there's no cross threading or anything like that. Once it bottoms out, we'll then use the 12 millimeter Allen key and the 17 millimeter box wrench to tighten everything back down. Just remember that I believe this one is reverse thread on your hub as well. Once snug, it can be tight. It doesn't need to be super tight just because it is an aluminum axle. Just make sure there is no play in the Freehub body. Everything spins and engages properly. Non-drive side or the disc brake side end cap will just slide on. If there's any grit or anything in there, just make sure to wipe it clean, and a little layer of grease on the inside does help if it was a little dirty. You can just pop it on by hand. We'll then install the cassette. There is a keyed spline that will allow the cassette to slide on properly. You just line up that keyed spline. Take the lock ring, thread it in by hand. Finally, we'll just take our cassette lock ring tool. We don't need the chain whip for this process, and we can just tighten down the lock ring. And you're all done.